Why do I believe that we have been lied to? Well, for many reasons. For one thing, I don't believe we're spinning on a ball. If you look at the North Star, Polaris, which is the North Star, which was discovered in 69 AD by Claudius Ptolemy, if I remember correctly, he discovered the pole star thousands of years ago. The pole star, which is in the center of the sky. Now, there was something called the Georgia Guidestones. The Georgia Guidestones were these massive stones that had this tiny little hole in it. And you could look through that little hole and you could see the North Star through that little tiny hole every single night. Now, these things stood for like 50, 60 years around there, and then somebody knocked them down. And that's because there were people traveling all over the world to go to the Georgia Guidestones to look through the hole to see the North Star, because it was a flat earther's dream. So they ripped it out. Of course they did. Now, why have we gotten to this point where information is being held, the true information is being held by the people that write the narrative? How is that possible? It's because information has been held by the important people forever. All right, that's the kings held the information. The Knights Templars held the information when they went around the world forcing their beliefs on everyone else. What do you think they were doing? They were seizing other people's information, burning libraries down, stealing resources, keeping it for themselves, bringing it back, giving it to the king, saying, okay, king, this is what we found, this is what we have. And then eventually the king, he eliminated all of the Knights Templars because he, in my opinion, he was afraid that they knew too much. They had to go. They knew way too much and they needed to be eliminated. So we have had the truth being held very closely by the gatekeepers for thousands of years now, and nothing has changed. This is why when you look up the presidents of the United States, why do you think most of them are related? If they're not related by blood, they are in a secret fraternal order together. They are in fraternal orders. They do blood oaths and all sorts of creepy stuff. They sign NDAs. They can't tell you anything. When people say, don't you think the astronauts would have told us by now? No, I don't. Because they sign NDAs. Apparently, people don't know what an NDA is. But if you sign an NDA, you cannot talk about it. It's a non-disclosure. You can't talk about it. If you talk about it, they will burn you down to the ground. Most of these people have families. You think they want that to happen? They don't. So learn. The only people in this life that are going to learn are the people open-minded enough to learn. That's it. I'm not asking you to believe me. I don't want you to believe me, because if you believe me, all you're doing is now just believing me instead of believing the last person you believed. That's not knowledge. That's not anything. That's belief. What you need to do is go do the research. Go look, go learn, go buy a telescope, go buy a Nikon P1000, go take the pictures. I bought all the equipment because I couldn't stand not to know. I couldn't stand being taken advantage of. Now I'm not. Now I'm not taken advantage of. I don't get taken advantage of in anything, because I learned how to do it myself. We make our own bread. We make our own pasta. We make our own food. We do all of our own. We raise our own chickens, raise our own tilapia, make our own music up here in the music room. We do everything on our own. Why? Because you can. When you start to learn about money and what it is and where it comes from and how it has no connection to anything valuable, it's a pure belief system. And money is connected to us through something called Maritime Admiralty Law. That's the law of the water. There's two laws. There's the law of the land and there's the law of the water. Does anyone know where the law of the land came from? The law of the land came from Moses, okay? But most people don't know that Moses' law, the Ten Commandments, that didn't get invented by Moses and God himself on the top of Mount Sinai. That actually came from the Hammurabi king and his set of laws. Okay, so this comes from ancient stuff. Whenever we're reading Christianity work, Even Hebrew work, it comes from older material, older source material. Open your first page of the King James, it tells you that the book was written by scribes. Then when you look into the book, it tells you, Jesus straight up tells you, do not trust scribes. So you have to use your own common sense. You have to read, you have to learn, you have to try and understand. That's just my opinion. I don't personally take anyone's word for anything. Not even people like Jordan Maxwell, who I learned a lot of this from. I went into the libraries, I researched, I wrote everything down. I listened to every one of his seminars and classes. I wrote almost everything down. I could show you. I have notebooks and notebooks because I needed to remember this stuff. Then I went to the library and researched everything just to verify, because I didn't want to make videos saying this and that if I didn't truly believe it to be true. So I did the research. That's what I think people need to do. Most people are not willing because they think that they have it all. They think they know it all already. And unfortunately, they just don't. No one knows it all. So I love you all. This is my opinion. Please, if you can become a member, become a member. I work 60 hours a week. I do these videos for free because I believe it frees your mind. I do it for free. I'm a recovery coach. I work in the streets of Holyoke and Springfield every day, trying to get people into sober houses and get beds in programs and get off the streets and fix their life, get into a higher vibration because they're in a low vibrational state. I like to try and help people, and anyone can do it, man. Anyone can get better. I went to prison for robbing banks because I was addicted to painkillers and opiates. And I've been clean sick over 6 years. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. I never owned a thing, ever. I never had a thing. It was all, everything I ever made was given away. Now I actually have stuff. This room, this is mine. This is our house that we own. It's little, but I don't care. That's fine. We got everything we need. I don't need mansions. I don't need billions of dollars. If I had millions of dollars, it would be given away because I don't want it. Material shit leads to nothing. It leads to unhappiness and nothing. So that's what I got to say. I am asking people to come on and be a member because the more members I get, the more I can do for the people. As soon as I get enough people to buy a building, rent a building, that's the first thing I'm going to do. That way I can have 7 days a week. We can host meetings. We can have a library in there. We can have a resource center. We can go out and do things. We can have beds for people. I want to help people because not enough of the rich elites, they're not doing anything for anyone. People like Elon Musk doesn't do shit for anyone other than deceive you. That's what I believe. I love you all. Please go to my website, WithTheSun33. If you can become a member, it's less than a bag of Skittles a month. Hit that button. Become a member. Get my phone number. Get all my digital books. I love you all. If you're in the area, man, I live in Connecticut. I work in Massachusetts. If you're in these areas, I am down to meet. I'm down to teach. I'm down to do classes. Whatever you need, I am here to help. That's what I want to do. I love you all so much. This is my opinion. Enjoy the rest of your day.